And I hadn't done a video in a while, but I really hadn't had much to do. Right as the winter got started at the end of 2018, we got a real good cold snap. So I learned a valuable lesson. I had checked all the stores and everything, and I already done mite way earlier when it was still warm. I'd done mite treatment to make sure I didn't have any issues there. Come back, and then bees were doing great. Everything was rolling. I had 2 brood boxes. They were full, and everything was, I thought, was great. So when it got really cold, I decided to go ahead and do a top feeder with some sugar in it to help with and insulate the top of it, not just on to help soak up some of the dampness and give them some winter food if they need it. I checked, and they had honey in some of the top frames in the brood box, and everything was looking great. So I came back out a couple weeks later to check, and when I looked inside, the inside of that feeder was just as black as it could be, and it was totally confusing. So I lifted it out, and it was just full of ants going after that sugar. So while I had checked in, there were bees were in there doing their thing. They weren't really flying around, but they were really moving. You know, they were moving inside the brood boxes. So I just decided for a week or so I would take the feeder out, and I did, put everything back. And then when I came back out, it was about 2 weeks later to check them and to put the sugar in, I noticed there was nothing moving, and everything was dead. So I took everything apart, and the bees were just dead. So I was really disappointed. And the way I looked at it, you know, I'd been doing my bee log and tracking everything that I've been doing, and temperatures and everything. And I have talked to several people, and a few have had the same problem that I had, but I guess I just didn't have the stores I thought I would in there, and something happened. But and for all I know, the ants had been in there and been taking out the honey they had for stores, and I didn't even realize it. But anyways, now I've just installed a new package of bees I picked up today, and I'm going to see if I can make a run at it again. I'm not going to give up, but it's just disheartening when, you know, you have issues and everything's gone. I had hoped to catch a few traps of bees, and by this time, you know, starting this year, I was hoping to have had to be able to winter at least 2 hives, and had 2 to start out with in the spring. But it didn't work out that way, so we're going to give it a show again. But at least now I've got comb that's already built out, so there's a whole lot less work for them to do to get started. So I'll just keep trucking at it and see what we can do. Just stay tuned and for the next video, and we'll see how everything goes on my first check of the bees. And until then, we'll talk to you later.